Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today, you get to hear my voice again because I could not find a specific YouTube video on this, so I wanted to make sure that it's the last concept we have to cover for this unit, and that's application. That's using complex numbers in terms of. I'll go ahead and give you a hint. This is basically on area and perimeter. So let's start with the first one. Let's start with perimeter. So remember that perimeter is the distance around a figure or object. For example, just as recall, if I draw this rectangle, and let's say on this side it's 2 feet, and on this side it's 10 feet, you know that because this is a rectangle, opposite sides are congruent. So if this side is 2 feet, this side must also be 2 feet. And if this side is 10 feet, this side must also be 10 feet. And so remember that the perimeter is the distance around this rectangle. So that means we're going to say 10 plus 2 plus 10 plus 2. And you should have figured out that would be 24. So that's no different if we have a complex number. Let's say we have a rectangle. Okay. Let's say that this side is 2 plus I, and this side is 3 plus 4i. Okay. Now again, this is a rectangle. I'm going to go ahead and do my little 9-degree marks and tell you it's a rectangle. So this side is congruent to this side, and this side is congruent to this side. So that means that this side is 2 plus I. This side right here is 3 plus 4i. So we can do it one of two ways. I'm gonna do it both ways each way. You could just do like I did up here and add up all the sides. You could say 2 plus I, parentheses, plus 3 plus 4i, parentheses, 2 plus I again, parentheses, 3 plus 4i, okay, parentheses. So all we do is put our like terms together. We got 2, 3, 2, and 3. So 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 gives you 10, okay. Then we would take our i's, because those are our other like terms, and put them together. So as you can see, I'm drawing rectangles around each one of those, and get I plus 4i plus I plus 4i. That gives me 10i, okay? And that's our final answer. Now that's a long, drawn out way of doing it. Some people may have seen it that way. Some people may also remember that with this being a rectangle, we could basically rewrite it as 2 times the width plus 2 times the length. And some people might find this a little easier. So that would mean for this one, you would say 2 times 2 plus I plus 2 times 3 plus 4i. Okay? So here we distribute the 2 on both sides into both parentheses. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times I is 2i. Over here, we would say 2 times 3 is 6. And 2 times 4i is 8i, okay? And now we're just going to put our like terms together. So we got 4 and 6. 4 plus 6 is 10. And over here, we have 2i and 8i, which give us 10i, okay? So again, we got the same answer either way. Sorry, my pen's trying to act a little funky. So again, either way, you will get the same answer. So some people find it easier to do the 2 times width plus 2 times length. Other people might just say, let's add up all the sides together. So that's one way of handling it. Let's do another one. Again, we're going to do perimeter again. This time, I'm going to change it up a little bit. And again, we're still doing perimeter. And this time, I'm going to say, let's go with 5 minus 2i. And over here, we're going to say 3 minus 4i. Okay, So let's take the short way. I think that'll be a little easier. So remember, that's our width, and this is our length. So we're going to say 2 times our width, which is 3 minus 4i, plus 2 times our length, which is 5 minus 2i. Okay, so again, we distribute the 2 inside our parentheses on both sides, both numbers. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4i is negative 4i is negative 8i. 2 times 5 is 10. And then 2 times negative 2i is minus 4i. Okay, so now we're going to put our like terms together. We got 6 and 10 give us 16. And then 8i and negative 8i and negative 4i give us negative 12i. Okay? So I'm not going to do it the long way just because I think that was just one way of doing it. I think I like the shorter way better. So that's perimeter. So again, you will have 2 problems like this on your test. So make sure you understand that perimeter is the distance around the figure. And the short way of doing it is 2 times the width plus 2 times the length. Okay? Now let's move on to area. Now remember, area of and all we're going to be dealing with is quadrilaterals, rectangles, and rectangles and squares. We're not going to be doing any other shapes for the purposes of this. So remember, area of a quadrilateral is equal to length times width. So remember, if I gave you a figure like this, let's say our width was 9 and our width was 12. That would just be 9 times 12, which is 108. Okay? So now, for complex numbers, no difference. So let's say we have this rectangle. Let's start off easy. We'll say 3 minus I, and let's say that our length is 2 plus 2i. Okay? So remembering, it's going to be length times width, which is going to be 3 minus I times 2 plus 2i. So again, we're going to do our box method. I like that method a little better when I'm dealing with negative numbers. So we have 3 negative I here, and then 2 plus 2i. Okay? 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 2i is 6i. Negative I times 2 is negative 2i. And negative I times positive 2i is negative 2i squared. So just like I said in our Google Meet, we take our like terms, which in this case is negative 2i and 6i, and we get 6 plus 4i minus 2i squared. Now remember that I squared, I'm going to write it over here, is equal to negative 1. So when we come up here, because I'm running out of room, I'm going to say 6 plus 4i minus 2 times negative 1. Well, negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2, so that gives us 6 plus 4i plus 2. So again, our like terms here are 6 and 2. That gives us 8, so 8 plus 4i. Okay? Now, we would say this is in square units. I forgot to tell you. So square units. I didn't tell you feet or anything. Over here, it just would have been units for our perimeter. Okay? So again, make sure you select the option that says square units. You don't want to pick the one that doesn't say square units, so because that'll mess you up a good bit. All right, so now let's flip over and do one more example of area. So again, we're doing area still, and this time we'll have a square, and I want to do a square because I'm going to tell you it's a square, because what if we have a situation like this? So we know a square, all sides are congruent, and let's say I give you this is, we'll go with 3 minus 4i, okay? So if this side is 3 minus 4i, that means that this side is also 3 minus 4i, okay? So all we're going to do here is we're going to say 3 minus 4i times 3 minus 4i. And then we're going to do our box again and get 3 and then minus 4i here, and then 3 and then minus 4i here. All right, so 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times negative 4i is negative 12i. 3 times negative 4i, again, is negative 12i. And then negative 4i times negative 4i is positive 16i squared. Put our like terms together again and give us 9 minus 24i plus 16i squared. Remember, I squared is -1, so we're going to change that I squared to a -1 and make that 16 times -1. That becomes 9 minus 24i minus 16. And then we're going to put our like terms together, -16 and 9, and get -7 minus 24i, and again, that's in square units. Okay? So that's area. So now you have a couple examples to work with. So if you need to review back to this video, that's fine. Use these notes I hope you were taking while we were doing this, and complete the Google Slides presentation on using area and perimeter. Remember, pay attention very carefully what it's asking for, because some of the questions ask for perimeter, some ask for area. Okay, so you also want to make sure on the test you look and see what it's asking for. Don't just assume it's automatically area, it's automatically perimeter. Look and see what it's asking for. All right? So that's it for today. See you next time. Bye.